Good morning. Yes, it is Tuesday morning and we are on an adventure. Yeah, we are adventuring through. We're venturing through this week and trusting that you are well. And again, we are speaking about the one thing that Jesus said, "Who touched me?" So I want you to know today that we have to come into a place in our lives where we have to reach out and touch Jesus. So you're with George at Growth Point, growing as you are going through life, and we need you to grow. This is the one thing, the desire in my heart is to see you grow. Now remember, we started our story off on Monday morning with Jairus. Jairus came to Jesus, and he was a man of desperation. He was in need of Jesus to come and to touch his daughter. His daughter was 12 years old. Notice that, 12 years old. The woman with the issue of blood, she had it for 12 years. So if you want to do a little bit of a study, you can go in and look at the importance possibly of that. Why 12 years? What is the reason behind it? Well, you can do your own study and you can check. If you get some kind of revelation, let us know. Drop it down. Give us a little bit of insight as well of what you might be seeing. But remember this, that in the crowd there was that woman. So we come back to that woman. Jairus is on his way, got a hold of Jesus. Jesus is now accompanying him. They're on their way to his home to heal his daughter. But there in this crowd is a woman who had equal need. She had just as much need to have Jesus heal her, just as much need as Jairus needing Jesus to heal his daughter. So she reaches out, something that she should not have done and was prohibited in doing, is that touching people. Now again, remember, there was a crowd. So obviously she touched many people, making them all unclean, pushing her way through to that of Jesus, just to get hold of Jesus, just to touch the hem of his garment. Now, let's come back. Both needed a healing touch from Jesus. Both required a touch from Jesus. The question we got to come back to, do I need a touch from Jesus? If I need a touch from Jesus, then I need to find the boldness both of Jairus and of that woman who had that issue of blood for 12 years, the blood flow from her body for 12 years. We need to have the same desperation of reaching out to Jesus, calling upon his name, touching him, and receiving that what we need to receive through him. Now, since the start of the pandemic, thousands upon thousands of people have lost their way. Many have lost their lives, but many have lost their way. Why? Because they focus not on Jesus, but they are focusing on the pandemic and that what has restricted them of not gathering together. We find it still today. Many people have not come back to church. Why? Because they become comfortable. This is what happens. They become comfortable in their environment. Now, this woman could have been comfortable in her segregation or isolation from people, but when she heard Jesus was there among the crowd, she decided to get out and to go along and to press in and get hold of her healing. Now, as I said, crowds of lost people are crowding around Jesus, but they are too afraid to reach out and touch him to obtain their healing. Now, I don't know about you, but I need a touch from Jesus each day. Every morning I get up and I come into my quiet time with Jesus, grab hold of the Word of God, and I read the Word of God. Why? Because I'm looking for a touch. I need a touch. I need to reach out and touch him. And the way that I touch him is through reading his Word and getting hold of his Word and getting hold of the promises of God, knowing that God is for me, not against me, even though I might find myself in isolated situations or even in troubled times, knowing that God is going to be with me through those troubled times. But you see, the world is living in a pretend world at the moment. Many are pretending to do life. I don't know, you might have some people that are pretending to do life, but not really doing life. Pretending to do life, living life, but living outside of Jesus, not having Jesus at the center of their lives. And this is where we need to come back to, is putting Jesus at the center of our lives. You see, without God, there is no life. We pretend to work. We pretend to love. We pretend to do the things that we are doing in life, but it's a pretense because we haven't allowed Jesus to become part of our lives, because we haven't reached out and touched him, because we have to learn how to touch Jesus to get his attention by calling upon his name. Listen to what Ecclesiastes 2 verse 1 says. It says, come on, let's try pleasure. That's what the writer is saying. Let's try pleasure. This is what the world is saying. Let's look for the good things in life. But I found that this too was meaningless. You see, life outside of Jesus is meaningless. Yeah, you might enjoy life. You might enjoy what you're doing, but you need to touch Jesus. You see, Jairus, the woman with the blood issue, and all of humanity need a touch from God. But the only way that we are going to obtain a touch from God is if we reach out and touch him first. So come on, have you touched Jesus this morning?